Hello. Periodically through my website, people will email me and ask me a couple of questions relative to certain things that they may wonder about, and just by watching the videos that I currently have on YouTube. And recently I got an email asking about how do I get my body more involved in my swing. Currently I hit the golf ball about 250 yards off of the tee. So there's a couple of main reasons why you could or could not gain distance. One is club head speed. So it would be important to understand, or at least know, what your current driver speed is. So obviously the slower that your swing speed is, the less distance that you're going to get. The higher your swing speed, the more distance you're going to get. So I think for those of us viewers out there, we know that the PGA Tour players, they have the highest swing speeds out there. So for that reason, they're going to carry the golf ball the furthest. A good analogy of that would be sort of like a garden hose. If you turned a garden hose on and you turned it on just very softly, the water wouldn't sprinkle very far. If you turn the water on full capacity and you held it at a certain angle, the garden hose, the water would disperse through the hose and you could find the angle to where it would carry the furthest distance and then sprinkle or run across the ground. So that would be my analogy relative to swing speed and getting the most carry distance and then maximizing the amount of roll that you would get relative to that. Okay, so going back to swing speed, well, how do you gain more swing speed? There's a couple of things you can do. You'd have to exercise and have more flexibility, and rotation obviously is another reason. So my analogy of that would be try to throw a football or a baseball or any sort of object the farthest that you can without moving your body, right? So an athlete or a football player or a baseball player, if they want to throw that ball the hardest, they want to maximize speed, they're going to have to use their whole entire body. They're going to get their body into it first, and then lastly they're going to release it. Okay, it's really no different in golf. If you expel all of your energy at the top, you're not going to have any energy when you get to the bottom. So an alignment stick would be a good way to show if you can hear this. If I whip that alignment stick too quickly, I would realistically be slowing down through the bottom. If I can have the alignment stick, or in other words the golf club, wait without getting my hands or my wrist into it too quickly, and I had my hands wait, my body would go first and my arms and my hands would allow the golf club to go last. So you would need to maximize whip at the bottom to have or gain the most club head speed through the moment of impact. So again, those analogies again are ways to kind of describe how you want to get the energy moving, maximize club head speed. So, sometimes mentally or psychologically speaking, is if you step on the gas pedal too quick at the top, I'm going to expel all of my energy with my hands. And when I do that, my body's going to become real stagnant, so I'm not going to get my body involved in the swing. But if my arms and my hands play a little bit more of a waiting game, my body will lead the way, and then my arms and my hands will carry the golf club to the moment of impact with the most or increased club head speed. Another analogy that I heard a while back, which I really like, is if you're driving a car and you came to a stop sign, if you hit the gas pedal before you got to the stop sign, you would go through, if there was a brick wall, say, behind the stop sign, and you accelerated way before you got to the stop sign, you'd be out of control, you'd crash, you'd hit the wall directly in front of you. But if you came to a very nice, smooth, silky cruise, and you started to make the turn, and then you hit the gas pedal, you would maintain pretty good control, and you could gradually accelerate. So that would be the analogy I would use at the top of the swing. So if I'm at the top of my swing, what I want to do is I want to kind of cruise into the turn And coming out of the turn is where I want to increase my speed. Just like a race car on a racetrack, right? So if a race car is traveling at 100 miles an hour, they're actually going to slow down and cruise into the turn, and then they're going to hit the gas pedal as they come out of the turn on a racetrack. And then they're going to hit the throttle and accelerate until they need to slow down again to get to the next turn, or otherwise they would crash. Think of those analogies as a way to help you perform better. So, you know, technically your technique's going to improve because the golf club won't disperse itself off of a path. It's going to hold a pattern back to the ball much tighter because you're not accelerating at the wrong point in time. All right, so there you have it. I hope that answers a couple different questions or some things that I've heard on explaining how to gather more club head speed. So exercise, staying fit, you know, having your body be flexible enough to be able to rotate and turn. Play more of a weight game at the top, so be more patient at the top, let your body work, and then accelerate through impact. There you have it. Have a good afternoon, have a good day, and best golfing to everyone, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching.